This is Africa R Shield, your joy strategist. And wow, I was thinking today about the one thing that I just really dislike, the one thing that zaps my joy almost every single time. And that's waiting. I have to be the most impatient person in the world. I like everything to happen instantaneously. And honestly, that's probably very true of our society in general. We're just so used to everything happening exactly when we want it to. You know, think about the way that we use the microwave even. Just so that we have instant meals or the drive-through because we don't want to wait for our food. I mean, how many people do you know that are really growing a garden and harvesting their own food? I mean, we're just too impatient for these things. And so anytime something happens and I have to wait, I get so crazy cranky about it. I have to take a really deep breath and realize the importance of waiting. Now, we're not used to sowing and harvesting. Like I mentioned, few of us have gardens where we get our own food. But there was something really important about that lesson that we would have learned if we did sow and then harvest. I mean, part of that lesson, that waiting lesson, to make sure that we got our own food, that we'd have to remember to sow, that we'd have to, make sure there was sunlight, that we'd have to make sure there was water, that all the conditions were there to grow the food and wait for it to get there and then harvest it and clean it and cook it and, whatever other process it might have to go through. I mean, I have no idea how they get wheat and turn that into flour. I mean, what a process. But my point is, learning those lessons have been lost to so many of us. We've forgotten how to wait. We've forgotten how to see the joy in waiting, seeing something emerge and get birthed. I mean, really, probably the only time we see that is when we are pregnant and then giving birth. That whole process and the joy that comes in that process, the anticipation, the not knowing, the mix of emotions that happen is absolutely incredible. So my point is, waiting isn't such a bad thing. And I have gone through this period of having to wait on some things. And like I said, I'm not a patient person, but I've strove to remember the importance, what I've learned from waiting, the ability to have joy, to not know what's coming around the corner. And sometimes when we're pushed to wait and we think that we're being punished, it's really because something else is coming around the corner that's even better, that we never even anticipated. And that's what that waiting was about. Sometimes it's because something not so good is coming around the corner. And because we were forced to wait on one thing, we're able to handle the other. We have that capacity immediately available. So let me encourage you to get excited about waiting, because you never know what it's about and what else is coming up next. And just enjoy the journey in the waiting. Enjoy the process, because it's rarely about the destination. It's about what we do along the way. So I'd love to hear about your journeys of waiting. All those times you had to wait. And tell me what happened. Was it something unexpected? Unexpected good, unexpected not so good? But because of the waiting, it made all the difference. Okay. Thank you for going to this extended video. Be peaceful, joyous, and love-filled. Have a wonderful day.